Welcome to the channel. How many chances do you think have slipped away simply because you couldn't decode a woman's signals? This isn't speculation, it's grounded in real psychological patterns. The body communicates constantly. And if you don't know how to read it, you may be overlooking moments that don't come twice. As a mature, experienced man, it's natural that women feel drawn to you. But here's the reality, they rarely express it directly. Not because the interest isn't there, but because subtlety has always been part of how attraction is conveyed. A woman signals interest through small, intentional behaviors that appear casual on the surface, yet carry meaning underneath. But what happens if you miss those signs? If she holds eye contact and you fail to understand what she's silently communicating, the outcome is simple. You lose an opportunity that could have turned into something meaningful. That's exactly what we're going to change today. I'm going to walk you through 9 powerful signals rooted in female psychology and body language that reveal when a woman is interested in you. And these aren't the obvious overused signs you've heard before. These are the subtle indicators that truly matter, the ones that separate awareness from missed connection. My name is Celia, and here we focus on the details most people overlook, the small shifts that can change everything. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Stay with me until the end, because what you learn today may completely reshape how you interpret attraction and relationships. Let's begin. The body always communicates, even when someone tries to conceal what they feel. One of the most honest and often ignored signals comes from the feet. Unlike facial expressions or hand gestures, we rarely control them consciously. If you're speaking with a woman and her feet are directed toward you, that's a quiet but meaningful sign. It indicates focus, both physical and emotional. Her attention is anchored on you. Think about the opposite. When someone feels disinterested or uncomfortable, their feet naturally angle away, often toward an exit or another direction. But when they're aligned with you, it reflects a subconscious pull in your direction. Picture this. You're in a social setting, having a conversation. Even as she gestures or briefly looks elsewhere, her feet remain pointed toward you. That consistency reveals where her true focus lies. This doesn't mean you should start analyzing every movement obsessively. But when you notice this signal alongside other positive behaviors, it becomes a strong indicator of interest. So what should you do? Use that moment to deepen the conversation. You don't need to call attention to it. Just recognize that her body is opening the door. Now, let's move to another powerful signal, her hands. Hands often reflect what's happening internally. When a woman feels attracted or emotionally stimulated, subtle movements begin to appear. She may play with her jewelry, adjust her watch, touch her neck, or smooth her clothing. These gestures aren't random. They're often unconscious ways of releasing emotional energy, whether it's excitement, nervousness, or anticipation. Imagine you're talking and she starts gently turning a necklace between her fingers. Her focus isn't on the object, it's on you. The movement is simply an outlet for what she's feeling in that moment. These actions tend to be soft, repetitive, and almost soothing. Psychology explains that people engage in these behaviors when they're around someone they're drawn to, either to manage their emotions or subtly draw attention. If you notice this, don't isolate it. Look at the full picture. Is she maintaining eye contact? Is her tone warm? Does she tilt her head while listening? When these signals align, the message becomes clear. How should you respond? Stay relaxed. Let the conversation flow naturally, but guide it towards something more personal. Give her space to feel comfortable. If the gestures continue, it's a strong sign she enjoys your presence. Now let's take it a step further, her posture. When a woman is interested, her body instinctively shifts to present her best self. She may straighten her back, lift her chin slightly, or adjust her appearance when you're around. Imagine walking into a room and seeing her relaxed. Then, as soon as she notices you, there's a subtle transformation. She adjusts her hair, refines her posture, or positions herself more elegantly. These aren't conscious decisions. They're natural responses driven by attraction, a way of creating a positive impression without words. As you continue interacting, observe whether she maintains that posture or continues making small adjustments. These behaviors signal that your presence matters to her. How do you respond? Match her energy. Keep an open posture, smile genuinely, and show that you're engaged. This creates a comfortable dynamic that encourages her to express interest more freely. Now let's talk about something even more revealing, her smile. A genuine smile can say more than words ever could. But the most telling kind is the one that appears without an obvious reason. If she smiles at you before anything amusing is said or laughs more than the situation calls for, it's not about the moment, it's about you. Picture a simple conversation, nothing particularly exciting, yet she's smiling as she looks at you. That spontaneous expression reflects genuine enjoyment in your presence. These reactions are natural. They're not calculated, they happen because of how she feels. When you notice this, don't ignore it. It's a quiet invitation to continue building the connection. And your response? Return the smile. A warm, sincere expression reinforces the emotional exchange and strengthens the bond. Now let's explore proximity. Attraction often reveals itself through subtle efforts to close distance. If she consistently finds ways to move closer without making it obvious, it's a meaningful signal. Maybe you're in a group and she gradually shifts nearer to you. Or you're seated and she aligns her body or arm closer to yours. These movements are natural, driven by a desire for connection. It's her way of entering your space without crossing boundaries too abruptly. To confirm, observe whether she behaves this way specifically with you. If the closeness isn't consistent with others, it becomes more significant. Your response? Stay comfortable. Don't pull away. If it feels right, mirror the closeness slightly. This builds mutual comfort and strengthens the connection. Now, let's talk about mirroring. When a woman is interested, her body begins to sync with yours. This is known as unconscious mirroring, and it's one of the clearest signs of connection. You cross your arms, she does the same moments later. You take a sip of your drink, she follows. These small actions aren't coincidences. They reflect alignment, her mind and body connecting with yours. Mirroring happens naturally when someone feels comfortable and engaged. It's a silent way of saying, I'm in tune with you. If you notice this, don't overanalyze it. Just stay present and let the interaction flow. Next, her tone of voice. When a woman is interested, her voice often changes in subtle ways. It may become softer, warmer, or more deliberate when she speaks to you. In a group, her tone might remain neutral with others, but shift when addressing you, becoming more personal, more engaging. This happens because emotions influence communication. Her voice becomes a tool to create closeness. When you notice this shift, match her tone. Speak calmly and attentively. This builds trust and deepens the interaction. Now, let's move into something even more meaningful, what she chooses to share. When a woman feels a genuine connection, she begins to open up. She may share personal thoughts, experiences, or details she doesn't reveal casually. These moments are intentional. They signal trust and a desire to build something deeper. If she shares something personal, listen carefully. Ask thoughtful questions. Show that you value what she's saying. This strengthens emotional connection and encourages her to open up further. Finally, how she handles goodbyes. When a woman enjoys your company, she won't rush the ending. Instead, she'll find reasons to extend the moment, adding a question, a comment, or a last thought. It's not sluchai, it's intention. She wants to stay in that interaction just a little longer. When you notice this, don't cut it short. Let it flow naturally. These moments often create the strongest impressions. Remember this, actions reveal more than words ever will. With these 9 signals, you now have a clearer understanding of how attraction is expressed subtly. Women rarely communicate interest directly. They show it through behavior for those who know how to observe. If you've recognized these signs in someone, pay attention. You might be closer to an opportunity than you realize. And above all, respond with confidence and authenticity. That's what creates real connection. My name is Celia, and this space is dedicated to exploring meaningful insights with clarity and respect. Here we go beyond the surface, uncovering the small details that shape how we connect and relate to others. Because ultimately, awareness transforms everything, not just relationships, but the quality of life itself. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. What's ahead will continue to challenge your perspective and sharpen your understanding. And if you've made it this far, it shows your commitment to growth. Comment I love Dali and tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in the next video where we continue exploring the deeper dynamics of relationships and emotional connection.